Welcome to another episode of Saint Vincent Untold Stories. Today Saint Vincent and the Grenadines celebrated 42 years of independence. And now persons are asking, is it truly independence? Or is it that the word independence is just used for a good name? Some are saying that Saint Vincent is in so much debt. How can it be independent? Officer says that persons must not put their hands on others. While a few years ago she was accused of putting her hands on many others. So we are going to look at those are chilling untold stories. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon if you wish to see more videos like this one. Untold stories. I saw an article where an officer made a statement about domestic crimes and so forth. And she was asking that we put a hold on that and that must cease immediately. But few years ago, we witnessed that same officer putting her hands on several individuals. Do you remember in a previous episode that I did a video with a guy called Chippy from Sandy? When I told you that he had stolen some items, well, that is what he said in the magisterial court. But it was after they placed their hands on him that he made that stunning confession. And the officer making that statement in the article was one of them that placed their hands on Chippy, because we were there, we witnessed the whole thing. It is alleged that someone came forward and made a report against one Chippy, saying that he went into several homes and stole some items, and he went into a church. And the officers got hold of a Chippy and placed him in a holding cell. While in the holding cell, they brought out a Chippy and asked him for a confession, which he refused. But that made it worse. The officers took him out and took a piece of hose and do so why over Chippy's back and place him on the ground and wet him down with water, and Chippy bawled out like a little baby. Mommy, 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 me want me, mommy, me want me, mommy. That was what Chippy echoed. One individual that went by the alias Goat tried to intervene, to say something to try and save Chippy, and he was given some of the same treatment. Why? Shut your mouth in here, boy. When you see officers doing their work, please keep silent. And further to that, you, Mr. Goat, take out the piss bucket. But the goat refused to take out the piss bucket. And it was alleged that the man them in the cellar say, Goat, follow instructions, please, because you see what you got already. And Goat has said, me not showing none. And the man them bad up Goat has same way. And I say, Goat, come forward, come show with this. So the officers placed their hands on Chippy's body until Chippy's decided that he could not take anymore and decided to give a written confession. Remember, they said that JP had to be present, but Chippy was so frightened that they did not even have to put their hands on him in front of the JP. Because he knew what he would have gotten. Anyhow, he did not give that confession. On the day of court, Chippy went inside the magisterial area, and he said, my worship, I stole the flour, the sugar, and the rice. And he looked on to the officer, and the magistrate said, you know what you are saying? Chippy said, yes, I stole them. But when he looked into a different direction, and he saw that the officer that placed his hands on him was watching him a kind of way, Chippy said, my worship, they placed their hands on me. They did it, my worship. I did not steal anything. They placed their hands on me. Untold stories we only speak as the truth on this channel. And if my memory serves me right, I could remember that magistrate at the time was Sir Ricky Burnett. We don't want to lie on anyone. But we were great history students in school. And he told Chippy that he don't believe that the officers placed their hands on him. You see, and we can understand where Burnett was coming from when he made that judgment. Because some officers are like a coin, they have two sides. So they act all polite and generous in front of the magisterial court. But behind closed doors, they have to put their hands on people in order to get a statement. Now, fast forward to 2021. We read an article in which Bonnet said that the allegations coming forward against some officers were getting out of hand. It was too much now. And now we have the same officer that placed her hands on Chippy, saying that she does not condone the putting of hands on others. Was it the great Maxi Priest who said, baby, baby, it's a wide wall? And you notice that it is a wide wall for real. You did something years ago and you come back now saying a different thing. Yes, today St. Vincent and the Grenadines are celebrated 42 years of independence. And persons were not pleased on the way how the day went. Every independence, we normally see the biker boys riding out. They normally bring in biker boys from areas like St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and their surrounding areas. But this year, the biker boys didn't coming. A few local biker boys came out and they did their thing, but they did not perform any stunts like wheelie and so forth. We did not see the likes of Songboy and them man they chop front wheel and do so ding 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 ding, and put the place in a chance. If I could remember, W had a grandson as well. That boy was like one of those riders in those BMX competition. The man could wheel as a youth, man. It was so spectacular. Everyone came out to watch him. I remember that one independence that they had a bike riding in the Pembroke area, and persons journeyed from all around St. Vincent just to see that bike riding competition. So let us now highlight the real issues that is affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Why persons are saying that we are not independent. Years upon years, the question was asked, what is the national debt of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? And no one seems to be giving an answer. How much did St. Vincent borrow? What is the time given to pay back those loans? Do we owe China? Do we owe Taiwan? Do we owe anybody else? How can we say that St. Vincent is independent when a lot of persons are dependent on the big man and the regime for survival, when they should be independent with the use of their education and their skills? When we have the big man saying that if you can't get a job, then you have to come up to his office. What is that telling you? That is being dependent on him. That alone is showing you that there are no jobs in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What he's trying to do is to try to force you into certain positions, and sometimes those persons can't even handle those positions. Sometimes when you see some of the boots lickers throwing up flags saying happy independence, it makes you feel that way because you know that they are not independent. They are boots lickers under the big man and the regime. If they don't do what a big man says, then they would lose their supper. They would lose their daily bread. Just recently, they had the thing with Mr. Cornelius John, where persons were saying that he was dealt a wrong hand. They had other thing over the river with the volcano relief monies that wasn't distributed properly. But yet, you stayed silent and talking about you are independent way, and you can't even express your views without getting sued. When you look around in certain communities around St. Vincent and the Grenadines, nothing has changed over the years, you know. You see no development. As I told you before, that YouTube has some strict policies, and there are certain things that we cannot talk about. For example, the persons that we gained independence from, we can't mention a lot of things about them because of the policies. All who was born before St. Vincent gained independence, viewers and subscribers, can you tell us in the comment section, was St. Vincent and the Grenadines better off before independence? Or is it better now? Because when you look around, you see some other islands that are still under the British, and they are doing quite well. And if you look carefully, you would see most of our young men and women are running to join the British Army and the British Navy. So that is telling us something. Why did we ask for independence in the first place if we still have to run back to them in order to get jobs? Remember, the regime said that they were going to provide the jobs, but they can't provide any when they are not opening any factories and any industries. So the youths now have to run back to England, to Britain and those places. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you, I'm out.